I have a little acronym that I like, and the reminder is be big. It means be bigger than the situation that you're in. Don't let your situation define you. You define your situation. If you say, but I got too many patients and not enough time, and too many demands and not enough resources, how long have we been saying that? We've been saying it forever, and how long will we say it? Forever. So put your attention on what you can do. Put your intention higher than the situation. So rather than saying, I'm here just to do a bunch of tasks, I'm here to be a healer. I'm here to be a healing presence. And that is something you can do no matter what resources or tools you have at your disposal. And some of the things that will help you to do that every day, one, breath. And you've all heard it before, right? You've all taught people this. Just please do it more yourself. Conscious use of the breath to slow down the mind, to engage the relaxation response. It assists digestion, it assists liver function. It helps us to be more present and do the best we can. Be with your breath, abdominal, diaphragmatic breathing. You can do it anytime, especially with those challenging people and situations. The second thing is remember to bless your situation. And by bless your situation, I mean wish it well. Instead of cursing it, or doubting it, or denying it, look at your situation as a blessing. The hard ones especially. That means ask yourself, what is the situation teaching me? Is it teaching me patience? Is it teaching me kindness? Blessing your life or looking at life as a blessing or looking for the blessings is about optimism. And we actually have fantastic research now on optimism. There was a fellow named Martin Seligman from Harvard who did some great work about the mind-body healing effects of optimism. Intention. As I said before, come with an intention that is higher than the situation that you're in. Because if your intention is just to get through another day or just to get this task done, then that day and that task will define you. But if you could start each day with an intention that says, hey, I'm in an imperfect world. I'm dealing with illness, and it's my choice. I'm a part of this because life is hard. I'm a part of this because resources are scarce, and I'm going to do the absolute best I can. That's my intention. And doing the best you can is an intention that no one can take away from you, and frankly shines in the hardest moments. And yes, the last one, even though we hear it often, is more powerful than can be estimated, and it's the attitude of gratitude. To remember that gratitude becomes a way of looking at life. That rather than putting our attention on the things that aren't going our way, we put our attention on the things that we can celebrate. And sometimes, even when we can't cure something, we can sit at someone's bedside or hold their hand for a moment or look them in the eyes and just be grateful that we have each other to go through these difficult times with. Because it's part of the nature of our life. And so coming close to the end of our time, I want to draw your attention to the fact that some of the tools that were talked about, particularly in my story and some of the things I've referenced along the way, these have been with us for ages. And so the question for you is just to ask, how can I use aspects or versions of these things in my work? Or maybe in just the way that I care for myself. How can I create new settings? How can we modify where we are? Maybe we can't get a new coat of paint, but maybe there's a school and a group of grade 1 children who are willing to draw pictures for the people in their unit. Or maybe someone can bring in a plant, or maybe someone can bring in their guitar on their day off. There are ways that we can transform our settings that don't require a lot of permission or expense. So we are now out of time, and I actually just wanted, can I have 2 minutes? So I just wanted to finish with a story that, like a lot of stories, I can tell for an hour, but I'm going to tell you a real short version of it. And it's a story of a young girl who felt like she never fit in. And, she wasn't the smartest or the fastest or the most beautiful. And so she was always trying to escape. And one day she asked her father if he could go hunting, or she could go hunting with him. And, this was long ago and far away. And he said, out on the hunt, it's not really a great place for a little girl, but she pleaded, and he said she could come with him, but she had to be careful because there were wolves in the forest and they were dangerous, and she needed to be careful that if she saw one, she would call him, or if she heard any noises, that she would immediately call for him because he had set traps for the wolves. And of course, as the story goes, he goes off hunting, and what does she run into? But a wolf, caught in a trap. And the wolf says, please, please, help me get out of this trap. And she's looking at this big, fierce wolf, and she thinks, well, my daddy said I was supposed to call him, so what does she do? No, she doesn't call her dad. That wouldn't be a very good story at all. It would be over. So she sets the wolf free, and this great big wolf turns, and guess what he does? No. You have some very sick people here. Patricia. He says, I'm going to give you a gift. I'm going to give you a gift because you have given me the gift of life so I can care for my family. What can I possibly do for you? So she explains her plight and how she doesn't fit in. And he says, well, I will give you a gift greater than a strong heart or mind or body. I'm going to give you a gift of the Spirit. And he said, what I want you to do is take one of my eyelashes, put it in your hands, rub them together, and wipe your eyes. And from that moment on, you will always see what is true. Sounds pretty good. So she did it. And the next thing you know, she looks up and she sees this great, big, beautiful puppy of a wolf. And he gives her a lick on the cheek, and off he goes. And she runs back to her place where her dad was supposed to meet her. And he says, did anything interesting happen today? And she said, maybe, not so much. How was your day? And he says, oh, great, but I'm exhausted. I was chasing the biggest stag you've ever seen in your life, and your dad was mighty, and I was firing arrows, but I missed him. But we'll get him next time. And then she saw the truth. Like a little movie in her mind, she saw him chasing rabbits with a stick, and he couldn't even catch a rabbit. He lied to her. But you remember, she saw the truth, so what she also saw, that what he was really trying to do was to help her feel safe. He was trying to help her understand that he loves her, and that he wants her to know that she's cared for. So she said, no worries, Dad, you'll get him next time. And as they went back to the village, everything was different. A boy came running up to her, hey, come play with us, come play with us. He never asked her to play with him before, and then she saw the truth. He wanted her to come and play with them so that while she was busy, he was going to run and take some of the wood that she'd gathered earlier for her family. What a cheat. But then she saw deeper. She saw the truth was that he was afraid because his parents were angry people, and that they were going to punish him because he hadn't done his chores yet. And all of a sudden, everything she saw was different. Instead of seeing angry people, she saw frightened people. Instead of seeing greedy people, she saw people who had experienced lack in their life. Instead of seeing depressed people, she saw long journeys of sorrow and struggle that had great need. And so as she saw the truth, she changed the way she treated people. And you can imagine people changed the way they treated her. And the rest of her life, she was celebrated for her beauty and her radiance and her patience and her wisdom, because she saw the truth and she was willing to live from that place. And even though it took an extra couple minutes, I wanted to end with that story because that's the opportunity we have in our work here, to look deeper into each situation we have, to ask, what is the real truth behind it? And what can I do to bring it out and to honor it so that I can be a part of bringing that spirit to healing, whether I'm here or at home or in the community. So thank you for your time, and thank you for sticking around, and it's nice to see you all again.
Just before everybody leaves, I just want to mention two things. Jonathan's doing a workshop tomorrow out at St. Norbert's Art and Cultural Centre, and it's called Ancient Pathways to Awakening, Shamans and Shamanic Wisdom in the Modern Age of Healing and Enlightenment. It's from 10 to noon out at St. Norbert Arts and Cultural Centre. For more information, there'll be a couple of the spiritual health specialists standing outside with information how you register and how you get there. And I also wanted to mention that McNally's are here. They do have books for sale, and if they run out, you can order them. And I wanted to say to Jonathan, I absolutely love that poem that you wrote. It's absolutely beautiful. And you're a gifted storyteller, and I really appreciate your grounded and balanced view of spirituality and healthcare. It was very wonderful. And I just wanted to acknowledge Laurie and Shauna, your siblings who are here with you, brother and sister, so it's nice to see you. So thank you very much, Jonathan.
Actually, a whole bunch of them around.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.